let's talk about something that feels a little bit like everyday magic. You know how you can stop a massive 2-ton car with just a light press of your foot? Seriously, it feels like it shouldn't work. But it's not magic. It's actually an incredible principle of physics. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this hidden force, the one that multiplies our strength and lets us do the impossible.
I mean, really think about it for a second. You're just driving along, and with one simple tap of your foot, you bring this huge hunk of metal to a dead stop. How does that tiny little push create such an immense result? It's a fantastic question, right? It almost feels like it breaks the rules of physics. And that's exactly where we're going to start.
Yep, let's dive right into this seemingly impossible feat. We're about to uncover the science that basically gives your foot the strength of a superhero.
Okay, so here's the puzzle, right? A tiny bit of effort from you creates this immense amount of force. I mean, could you imagine trying to stop a moving car with just your hands? No way. It's impossible. So what's the secret sauce here? What's the thing that makes this whole incredible feat possible?
Well, as you've probably guessed by now, the answer isn't some kind of magic trick. No, it's all thanks to a really elegant and fundamental law of physics, one that's actually been around for centuries.
And that secret is Pascal's law. It's named after this brilliant guy from the 17th century, Blaise Pascal. And trust me, this one single principle is the key that unlocks the entire mystery of how things like your car brakes work, and honestly, so much more.
So what in the world does that actually mean in plain English? Okay, picture the brake fluid inside your car's brake lines. It's what we call a confined incompressible fluid. Basically, it's trapped in a sealed system and you can't really squish it. Now, when you press that brake pedal, you're putting pressure on just one tiny spot in that fluid. And here's the cool part. Pascal's law says that pressure doesn't just stay there. It gets transmitted instantly and equally to every single drop of that fluid. No fading, no loss of strength. It's like a perfect messenger.
Here's a good way to think about it. Imagine you're inside a totally sealed room filled with air. If you push on one of the walls, what happens? The pressure in the entire room goes up, right? Instantly and everywhere. The fluid in a hydraulic system is doing the exact same thing. It's perfectly sending that initial push out in all directions at once.
Okay, so knowing the pressure gets shared equally is step one. But that doesn't explain the force multiplication. How does a small push become a mighty shove? Well, that's where the formula comes in. And don't worry, it's actually way simpler than you might think.
So let's break down a classic hydraulic press. You can really think of it as a tale of two pistons. So on one side, the small piston, that's where you apply a small force. Think of your foot on the brake pedal. That little push on a small area creates pressure in the fluid. Now, thanks to our buddy Pascal, that exact same pressure travels through the fluid and shows up on the other side, where it pushes against a much, much larger piston.
And this is the key. This is the whole shebang right here. Since the pressure is the same on both pistons, but the second piston has a much bigger area, the force it generates is also much bigger. It's like a trade-off. You put in a small force over a small area, and you get out a huge force over a large area. That's it. That is how we multiply force. It's the absolute core principle of all hydraulic power.
You know, the really cool thing is, once you get this idea, you start seeing it absolutely everywhere. It's one of those foundational technologies of our world that's just hiding in plain sight. So let's take a look at some of the places Pascal's law is working hard for us every single day.
I mean, it's everywhere. The brakes in your car, obviously. The lift that raises your car at the garage, that's Pascal. The giant arm of an excavator digging on a construction site, yep. The bed of a dump truck lifting tons of gravel, you guessed it. Even the chair at the barber shop or the dentist's office that lifts you up so smoothly. All of it is powered by this one simple, elegant principle.
So, okay, what's the big takeaway here? Why does this all matter? Well, because Pascal's law is so much more than just a clever physics trick. It's really a perfect example of how one single beautiful idea can be used to literally build and shape the world we live in. When you boil it all down, Pascal's law is the bridge between us, our simple human effort, and massive mechanical power. It lets us take a simple action, like pressing a pedal, and turn it into something incredibly powerful. It is without a doubt the ultimate force multiplier and a true cornerstone of modern engineering.
So, next time you're in your car and you stop with ease, or you see a huge piece of construction equipment moving gracefully, now you know the secret. It's a 17th century law about fluid pressure. Kinda makes you think, doesn't it? Pascal's law is this amazing, invisible force multiplier. It leaves me wondering, what other invisible principles are out there, powering the world all around you right now?